everyone, my name is Jeannievilyn Ola and I'm here to present my research on customers' perceived brand value on private label brands in marketplaces based in the Philippines. So I currently run an IT and digital marketing company, and a lot of my clients has been asking me during this pandemic if it will be beneficial for them to put their brands in marketplaces. So marketplaces are e-commerce sites with multiple buyers and sellers. And the top marketplaces in the Philippines are Shopee and Lazada. So I would personally say that I don't like the idea of putting their private label brands in the marketplaces. Although there are some advantages, there are a lot of disadvantages in terms of branding. So with that, I would recommend my expert opinion and would sway them away to create their own websites instead. Hence, I conducted this research to support my idea. I wanted to know if putting your private label brands affects the customer's perceived brand value of the brand. For this presentation, I'll be discussing a brief introduction on my research, then the theoretical and the conceptual frameworks used, together with the methodologies. Then I'll be discussing the hypothesis and the results and provide you with some recommendations. Online marketplaces such as Lazada and Shopee are two of the most common and downloaded applications in the Philippines. Businesses opt to be present in online marketplaces for the reason that it brings a lot of website traffic and brand awareness to them. However, due to the unforeseen COVID-19 pandemic, there are businesses who did not have online presence in place, so they were left with no choice but to venture on these online platforms, hoping to reach a wider range of customer and improve their client base. So this study investigates if the perceived brand value of the customers to a private label brands is affected by the private label brand's choice in terms of the selling platform, whether they'll be selling in online marketplaces or with their official e-commerce website. Shopee has a 33% market share, and currently Lazada has 59% market share. This is by Taya Juego in 2020. So private label brands, also known as are PLBs. So these are the known store brands. These are the products produced by third-party sellers that are purchased or distributed by resellers under their own brand name. So Shopee is a subsidiary of CLTD, which is an e-commerce platform and a mobile application where users can buy and sell their products. This was first launched in Singapore in 2015 and expanded throughout the Asian countries. Lazada, on the other hand, this was founded by Rocket Internet in 2012. So Lazada operates in Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, and the Philippines. There's also Thailand. So by year 2016, Alibaba Group had acquired the ownership of Lazada. So data shows that it is the second most visited online shopping marketplace, followed by Shopee, with an average of 161.7 million monthly site visits and over 300 million listed items per TMO Group in 2021. Amana et al. 2019 conducted a study on Lazada's service quality and found that consumers were satisfied with their overall service. Official websites for private label brands is another way to conveniently project information to potential buyers and gain their trust, per Butner and Goritz 2008 and Norsier 1 and Ardanirgan in 2020. official websites were 6% more immersive to consumers than online marketplaces per Google, Ipsos, and Six Factor in 2021. Mayer and Werringan in 2020 found that when the retailers of brand owners of official e-commerce website list their products through online marketplaces, there is a positive correlation, and a 1% increase on online marketplace positively affects the brand owner's website sales by 0.014%. And the negative effect of this, however, is that consumers prefer to visit marketplaces instead. It was recommended that investing in a personal website for brand owners would promote quality or higher brand image and gain trust from consumers, per Mavlanova and Benbuna and Fitch in 2010. So on contrary, Muriswan and Ardaningar in 2020 found that there was no significant effect of website quality on consumers' purchasing intention. There are several negative impacts on PLB selling in online marketplaces. One was from Sun et al., when he said that online marketplaces have become notorious for housing sellers of counterfeit products. And in the US, Levin said in his research that some legal research authors have even proposed policies on suing marketplaces for their involvement in the sale of counterfeit goods. Mavlanova and Ben Bunonfitch in 2010 noted that even counterfeit sellers, they use labels and signals to prove that their product is authentic. So consumers are becoming very suspicious of the products that they buy in marketplaces, which in turn, they become not satisfied with the quality of the goods that they've bought, and this one decreases the trust. Greger in 2003 also discussed one of the negative impact in terms of the product scarcity and exclusivity of a brand or a product, because when you put your product in the marketplaces, it becomes accessible to everyone. So this one also posts a lot of competitors to the brand. Here are some of the positive impact of PLB selling in online marketplaces. It provides high traffic, leading to increased sales, sales amount, and variance. It also has increased sales in retailers' online channels, and marketplaces allow businesses and customers to interact and collaborate. Mayer and Weringa in 2020 again found that when retailers of brand owners with the official e-commerce website list their products through online marketplaces, there is a positive correlation. A 1% increase on online marketplaces positively affects the brand owner's website's increase by a 0.014%. This research would want to understand if there's an influence in terms of selling in online marketplaces or in their own e-commerce sites in relation to the customer's perceived brand value of the brand. So this research would want to answer the following questions. One, what is the extent of influence of private labeled brands joining online marketplaces on increasing the customer's perceived brand value? Second is, what is the extent of influence of private labeled brands creating official e-commerce website on customers' perceived brand value? Number three is, what is the impact of age towards private labeled brands joining online marketplaces and having official website in customers' perceived brand value? And the last is, what is the extent of influence of private labeled brands on both joining online marketplaces, and creating an official e-commerce website on customers' brand value. Our conceptual framework is derived from the theory of reasoned action by Algen and Fisben in 1980 and in 1975, and its extension of the from the theory of planned behavior. These are the cognitive theories that offer conceptual framework for understanding human behavior in specific contexts. Fishman and Asgen in 1975 introduced a landmark in this context, namely the theory of reasoned action to predict and explain intentional consumer behavior. So a brand's perceived value is characterized according to the known positive attributes of the brand and the consumer's affinity towards it. The online marketplaces and the official websites are the platform in which the company can sell their products. So these are the independent variables for this study. Online marketplaces is an electronic intermediary that provides services and systems utilized by the customer and the sellers to facilitate transactions. So we have the online marketplaces and the PBL's official website e-commerce and what the consumers perceive brand value if they sell in this platform. And then this one is mediated by the age. For the methodology of this research, the research questionnaire was grouped into 6 sections. So the first one was purchasing experience in marketplaces. Second is the consumer perception towards PLB selling in online marketplaces. Third is purchasing experience in PLB's website. And then the fourth section is that the consumer's perception towards PLB selling in their official website. And the fifth is consumers' perception towards PLB selling in both online marketplaces and official website. And then the sixth is just for the general recommendation. So this was created in Google Sheets, which is an electronic survey application that was distributed in Messenger, Facebook Messenger. This is for the convenience as well due to the pandemic that we have right now. Google Sheet was also used for the encoding of the data that was gathered. So the respondents were based on quota sampling, which have three qualifying characteristics. First is that they must be living in the Philippines. Second is that they have an online marketplace account, either in Shopee or in Lazada. And then third is that they're age 18 and above. So we gathered the initial 134 respondents. Then after cleaning the data, we trimmed it down to 118 respondents. The Cronbach alpha for this is 0.875. Okay. So for the scope of this research, the study focused on identifying how online marketplaces and PLB websites affect the consumer's perceived brand value of the private labeled brands. So age for demographics was used as the moderating variable to understand if there's a difference in perception on brand selling in marketplaces and in official website based on the respondent's age. We also use Jamovi for the statistical tool. So based on the variables presented here are the hypothesis of the study. So HO1 is that private label brands selling in online marketplaces do not influence the customer's perceived brand value. The coefficient of determination is at 6.13. P-value is calculated at 0.007. This is less than the desired significance level of 0.05. Thus, null hypothesis is rejected. So based on analysis, customers are more comfortable buying household items, electronics, and technology accessories and sports goods. So So these product categories will help increase brand value, but the clothes and apparels, beauty, skin care items, and stationery or office supplies, jewelries, this one decreases brand value. Overall, the marketplace is significant, but the differences amongst categories are not significant. Hypothesis number two is that private labeled brands selling on their official websites do not influence the customer's perceived brand value. The coefficient for determination is at 74.1%. P-value is calculated at 0.001. This is less than the desired significance level of 0.05, and thus null hypothesis is rejected. So we accept HA2. HA2 is accepted where selling in owned e-commerce website influences the customer's perceived brand value and it increases the perceived value of the brand. Additionally, out of the 118 respondents, 81 respondents answer that they have bought directly to e-commerce websites for convenience, accessibility, trust, and because they have wider variety of items. Hypothesis number three is that private label brands selling in their own e-commerce website and in online shopping marketplaces does not influence the customer's perceived brand value. So here the p-value is calculated at 0.001. This is less than the desired significance level of 0.05 and thus null hypothesis is rejected. So selling in e-commerce and in marketplaces influences the customer's perceived brand value. Hypothesis number four, consumers' age does not enhance the effect of selling in online marketplaces and in PLB's website in increasing customers' perceived brand value. P-value is calculated at 0.510 and 0.675. This is more than the desired significance level of 0.05 and F is less than 2. Thus, null hypothesis is accepted. So the p-value for e-commerce is significant, but the differences between the age are not significant. Age as a moderating variable has no significant effect on consumers' perceived brand value, whether they're selling on e-commerce platform or in marketplaces. For recommendations, it is recommended that private label brands sell their products in online marketplaces and in their own e-commerce website. Future marketers can advise clients that it has a positive impact and it does not diminish the brand value of your brand. Future researchers may study other categories such as Grab and Foodpanda for the food category. Thank you very much.